guys, welcome back. As you can tell, I'm out here at the tiny house, and for those of you who are paying attention to everything going on in the world right now, it can be a little bit overwhelming. I'm talking about COVID-19. As you know, this is affecting me, this is affecting you, and it's affecting everyone around the world. So many of us are in self-isolation, and I'm one of those people. So I've had lots of time on my hands recently, and that's good for me because I got all kinds of projects and all kinds of things I can get up to. And one spot I like to spend a good amount of that self-isolation time is out here at the tiny house. And so I'm out here again today. I just walked out with the pooch and he's off yonder doing who knows what. But we're out here today because we're going to relax and just sort of reflect on a few things and a few stories dealing with this tiny house, because I spent some time out here over the winter. You guys may not have seen all of it, but we've got some stories to tell you, and I'm going to share that with you today. So let's go on in and see what's going on here. I haven't been out here for probably a week or so. And as you can tell, winter is finally starting to let go. You can see the raindrops falling off the roof there. Luckily for that drip edge, it's going off the roof and not onto the side of the building. But let's go up and just make sure everything looks good. My broom's still where I left it. Chair's still where I left it. It's a good thing. I don't see any obvious signs of issues. Beautiful thing is the door's not froze anymore. And I can tell this place is well insulated because as soon as I walked in, I bet it is 10 degrees Celsius colder in here. So that tells me that the insulation in the ceiling, floor, and walls, spot on. So just as I left it last, it's looking good in here. And one of the good things about having a well sealed off tiny house as I look around is that we haven't had any varmints in here. But that brings me back to the story I'm going to tell you guys. So over the winter, I was up top there. I was up in the loft. You guys have a little look-see up there. I was up there in the loft just relaxing. I think it was probably about 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night. Anyways, I was up there trying to fall asleep. I thought I heard something and I didn't quite know what that sound was. And when you're out in the bush and the wind's blowing and the dog's here, you start to think, well, it's probably one or two things, the dog or the bush. But it turned out to be something completely different. What it ended up being, let's just go on up here. Hopefully a raccoon doesn't jump down on us. Oop, nope, nothing. What it ended up being was something up in this front left corner. Was in between the roof and the wall board. So something was in the little space there in the insulation that I tried so hard to keep varmints out of. So something was in there. I couldn't tell what it was. Needless to say, I couldn't sleep that night because, well, A, I didn't know what was in there, and B, I was kind of frustrated at myself that something got in there despite all the work I put into keeping something out of there. So, as the story goes, I got through the night. I came down here, and I walked outside like so, and I looked up top, couldn't see anything, looked around the outside, couldn't see anything, and then I looked, oh, not there, way up here. Right, I don't know if you guys can see there, but I looked way up here. What I had there before those pieces of wood was screen like you'd see right here. You see that screen there? I had this stuff positioned where your soffit would typically go. So positioned where the soffit would go to allow air to get up into that air space up and out the ridge vent. Therefore, a reason to keep out the bugs, keep out the critters. So I thought, well, that lasted all of a few weeks and the red squirrels came by. I don't know where you guys are from, but if you have red squirrels, you know exactly how big of a pain in the rear end they can be. But I had a red squirrel, and right up in these locations, it decided to cut right through that screen, and it made a nice little burrow up yonder in the nice pink insulation. So that guy lived up there for a while. I ended up having to figure a way to get him out of there because A, I don't want him up there any longer, and B, I don't want to trap him up there by putting this wood in. So I had to go up there with a broom handle, and I'm hammering on the underside of the ceiling in there with this jobber, hammering on that thing. I finally saw him as if he was taunting me for one last time. He scurried right down this post. I looked at him. He took off into the bush. Once I was sure he was out of here, what I did was I went ahead and took those pieces of wood, as you saw, and I positioned them. You guys see up there? I positioned them in between each of the rafters. You can see them right there, and right there, and there, etc. So I positioned those things all the way down on both sides, and what I did was I put little holes in it. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's little holes every few inches all the way through it. Okay, so those little holes are hopefully going to act as sort of a makeshift soffit for ventilation. I didn't want to put the metal soffit you can buy at the hardware store up there, because this is kind of a rustic what do you call it, tiny house slash cabin. I built everything here. I didn't want to go and get some store-bought soffit and plop her up there. I thought it'd look a little shoddy, so I made those. I don't know how well they're going to work, but we're going to give it a shot. Worst come to worst, I screwed them into place. We'll take them out and put something different in. But I think that'll provide adequate ventilation. And if those red squirrels get through that, well, I'm tossing in the towel, because it can be their home now, because that's pretty thick stuff. I think that stuff is an inch thick. So we'll see if they get through it. But anyways, that was my one and only, thankfully, wildlife encounter out here. I'm hoping to have a few more wildlife encounters, but I hope the wildlife encounters end up being out there. So anyways, that's what I'm going to tell you guys about today. I don't know what Coda's doing back there. Looks like he's out searching for some wildlife too. But this tiny house overall, it has been a great spot to just relax and sort of get through these rough times with our self-isolation. The self-isolation is not ideal for everyone, especially for those of you who maybe you live in an apartment or you live somewhere where you really rely on getting out and about. And for those of you who are in that situation, I feel for you. I'm very fortunate. I have a bit of space here to stretch my legs, and this tiny house has turned out to be a really good spot to come out to, turn off the electronics, and just sort of relax. So that's just about it for me. I just wanted to tell you that story. I thought it was pretty funny. Let me know rather if you guys have any red squirrel stories, because I'm sure I am not done with the red squirrels, and I'm sure all of you guys probably have a story that'll trump mine. If you wouldn't mind sharing, I'd love to hear about it. So just put it down below in the comments, and until next time, guys, you all take care. I'm just looking out at Coda there. Hey, Coda. Just looking out at Coda there. He says the same thing. You guys all take care. Stay healthy. Stay safe. And I look forward to seeing you guys all next time.